Kelvin was not the kind of young man who blended into the background. With tousled dark hair, eyes sharp as a hawk's, and an insatiable thirst for the unknown, he was known in his seaside village of Windmere as the dreamer who would one day leave. While most of his peers settled into the quiet rhythm of fishing or trade, Kelvin kept his eyes fixed on the distant horizon, where the sea met the sky in an endless call to adventure. He had grown up listening to the tales of his grandfather, a retired sailor who spun stories of hidden isles, cursed caverns, and pirate gold buried beneath ancient ruins. Kelvin's favorite tale, however, was the legend of Eldoria, a lost civilization rumored to possess a treasure beyond comprehension. According to myth, Eldoria was a thriving island kingdom swallowed by the sea during a great cataclysm. But some claimed the heart of the kingdom, a towering fortress carved into a mountain and filled with gold, survived somewhere in the uncharted waters of the Azure Reach. Most called it fantasy. Kelvin called it fate. On the morning of his 21st birthday, Kelvin discovered something that would change everything. While rummaging through his grandfather's attic, he found an old leather-bound journal wrapped in oilskin and tied with a thin cord. Inside were notes, sketches, and coordinates, hints of an expedition his grandfather had never finished. On the last page, scrawled in fading ink, were the words, "The map is real. Eldoria waits." Kelvin didn't hesitate. Within a week, he sold everything he owned, packed a satchel with essentials, and set out for the coastal city of Serador, a bustling port where explorers, merchants, and mercenaries gathered. His goal: to find a crew brave or foolish enough to join him on his quest. In Serador, fate introduced him to a ragtag team. There was Lyra, a fiercely intelligent cartographer with a mysterious past and a knack for deciphering ancient languages. Dagan, a grizzled former soldier who wielded a massive broadsword and had nothing left to lose. And Tovik, a quick-tongued thief whose fingers were as fast as his wit. Each had their own reason for chasing treasure. Together, they formed an unlikely alliance. Their journey began aboard a rickety schooner named the Horizon's Edge, captained by a weathered sailor named Merrick, who owed Kelvin's grandfather a life debt. As they sailed into the open sea, chasing the clues hidden in the journal, they encountered fierce storms, sea beasts, and treacherous reefs. But Kelvin's determination never wavered. Every hardship was a step closer to uncovering the truth. Weeks turned into months. From the sun-scorched ruins of the Solari coast to the misty jungles of Vardun Isle, they followed riddles and fragments of maps, each revealing another piece of the puzzle. They battled pirates, unearthed traps in forgotten temples, and narrowly escaped the wrath of a sea witch who guarded an ancient relic tied to Eldoria. What kept Kelvin going was not just the lure of gold, but the feeling that he was fulfilling something far greater. A destiny passed down through blood and stories. He discovered that his grandfather had come closer to finding Eldoria than anyone else, but turned back after losing half his crew to the island's guardian, a mythical beast known only as the Sentinel. In the final leg of their journey, the crew arrived at the shrouded archipelago, a stretch of islands hidden by perpetual fog and treacherous currents. It was there, in the heart of a crescent-shaped isle, that they found the Mountain of Echoes, its peak shrouded in mist, and the entrance sealed with runes long forgotten. Using the journal, Lyra deciphered the incantation to open the gate, revealing a labyrinth. The air inside was thick with the scent of ancient magic. The walls shimmered with veins of gold, and the sound of water echoed through the stone chambers. Deep within, they came face to face with the sentinel, a colossal stone serpent bound by chains of light. To proceed, they had to offer something greater than gold: truth. Each member of the crew was forced to confront their greatest regret. For Kelvin, it was leaving without saying goodbye to his mother, who had begged him to stay. With their truths spoken and the sentinel appeased, the path opened. They emerged into a vast chamber at the mountain's heart, lit by shafts of golden sunlight pouring from cracks in the ceiling. And there it was, the treasure of Eldoria. Not just gold or jewels, but Kelvin stood in awe. The treasure was not what he had imagined, but it was far greater. With it came responsibility, the burden of choice. Take it and become a king, or leave it and protect its secrets. After a long silence, he turned to the crew and said, "We share this with the world, but carefully. Let Eldoria's gift heal, not destroy." They left the island with what they could carry, promising to protect the location and spread its teachings. Upon their return to Serador, they were met with disbelief and awe. Kelvin didn't care about fame. He had found what he was looking for, not just treasure, but purpose. Years later, stories would be told of the young man who chased a myth and found something real. Children would dream of becoming like Kelvin, not because of the gold he found, but because he proved that some legends are true, and that sometimes the greatest treasure is the journey itself. If you like and enjoy my story, make sure you like and subscribe for all new updates. Story like this on my channel and motivation for your mindset. Thank you.